Welcome to openmentor.net. In this session, we are going to see the concept of correlation in IBM RPT. Correlation means, look at this. Request 1 goes to server. Okay. Response 1 comes from server. From this response, from response 1, we need some data. Pass that data to next request. So request 1 goes, response 1 comes. Within response there is some data that is coming dynamically from server. Okay, this is from server dynamically. This data we do not know. So from the response 1 we need that data, so we need to extract that data. So extract that data, then pass that data to the next request. This is the concept of correlation. In rational performance tester, if you go to Windows preferences, okay, under test, in the preferences test generation, under HTTP generation, you will see data correlation. RPT is very intelligent. It does auto correlation of host and port IDs, then URL parameters, then all the referrers and all the data, anything that is coming dynamic. And this is all automatic. We don't have to do anything, and he identifies. And then again, if you have specific Siebel or SAP or JAS foundations, then all are automatic. Unless you specifically want to turn it off, by default RPT does automatic data correlation. So what we have done is we have recorded a script on this display application that script has got auto correlation. If you see here, the machine ID, IP address and port number, they are already auto correlated. So what he has done is very simple. Under the test variables, he has created a test host and then the test port. So it has a text 8888. It has got 192.168.1.118. If you want to change tomorrow, if you are going to run it from a different machine, all you need to do is change here. So he automatically identifies the IP address and port. So you don't have to change anything. So all those things will appear in this text. Okay, purple color. So if you go to Windows preferences, okay, under the test editor, if you go to this thing HTTP, right, it shows the color coding for all the, if you go to the test editor, under the colors and fonts, any data pool related things will come in blue, any references which are part of correlation will come in blue, any references which are already used, extracted and used, they will come under purple color. So you can simply remember, green is data pool, blue is references, part of correlation, purple are substituted correlations. So what you see here is a purple color, so that means he has extracted, he has used it in the subsequent responses. Now if you see here in this particular one, user details, especially this URL, if you see here, there is a J session ID. You may be noticing over here, J session ID. This session ID will be changing every time that you run. So what RPT has done is, he has intelligently found out this is something that drastically changed from every run. So he has dynamically found that out. He correlated that. So this is auto correlation. Auto correlation applies to all these things: the machine ID, port number, J session ID. If you are using .NET applications, view state __ view state will come as a dynamic data. Same way, if there is any session related details that are coming dynamically from the server, RPT will always do an auto correlation. Now how do I know how many data or how much data have been correlated? One more thing is, if I go to this one, it shows under the tooltip, it shows the items in green. That means it's a potential data that you can supply. Okay, So anywhere that you can supply a potential data, it will appear in green, which is user supplied data. Anywhere there's a dynamic data that is already found and replaced is called correlation, autocorrelation. If you go to the test, right click, data correlation, it says show references. If you click this show references, it will tell you what all the correlations this RPT automatically found out. If you see here, he found out this entire thing always changing. So he found out this is the dynamic area. So this way, and wherever that is used, that session ID is used, wherever this port numbers are used, he already does references and then he does substitution. A reference meaning, look at this concept, reference meaning extract that data. This is called reference. Extract that data from response 1. This is called reference. Pass that data to the next request. This is called substitution. So request 1 goes, response 1 comes. From response 1, extract the data that is and create a reference. Pass the data to the subsequent request, that is called substitution. When autocorrelation is done, he has already done this machine ID, port number, everything autocorrelation. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to record. I'm going to do preferences. I'm going to test generation under HTTP test, data correlation. I'm going to remove all of them. Okay, I'm going to remove all of them. Now I'm going to record a new script. Okay, now I'm going to log out from this screen. Always close the screens, then record. Now I'm going to record a new script. Okay, SER no correlation. Okay, now I go here. Let us do this. See what happens. Now you will not see any purple colors. Okay, always make sure you empty the cache. All offline files are to be removed. Now I'm going to say http://192.168.1.118:. Now I'm giving user ID, password. Okay. Then I go to these items. Then I click this particular item. Then I click logout. And I close this. Now let us view the script. It will generate the script. The previous script we have seen everything in purple color. Now if you go here, okay, this is the, look at this. The session ID is not done. IP address and port number alone is correlated because he has done this under the server connections. He is able to get that. Now dynamic data, the session ID is no more correlated. Whereas if you go to the previous one, the dynamic data, whatever you have seen here, it is already correlated, that comes in purple color. Now in this one, the dynamic data that you have got is not at all correlated, it comes in black color. Now if you go anywhere like this, these items, whatever data that we have seen, previously it used to come in green color, now it comes in black color. That color coding itself will show you whether he is doing automatic correlation or not. By default, the server IP address, everything is resolved because that is very easy. Now when the auto correlation setting is removed, we need to do all manual correlations. So manual correlations will be an advanced topic. I'm not talking about the manual correlation in this session. So this session is to give you the concept of what is correlation, what is auto correlation, what are the typical correlations like J session ID you will be facing in Java based applications. I'll stop the session over here. Thank you.